doing? Hope all is well. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a new video, and today I'm here with another political video. Now you guys know I'm learning about politics as I go, and I'm learning it with you guys. This is not to sway anybody's views. This is honestly to feed out information that I'm learning as I go. So on these videos, I don't tell or say who I decide to vote for. I'm just reading about these candidates, and I'm coming to the channel to read their policies. Now, yesterday, I got an alert that Bernie Sanders is running for President 2020. And I have been seeing on my last two videos of Miss Harris and Mr. Booker that everyone has been talking about Bernie. And I noticed that the Democrats have adopted a lot of his policies in their new policies for president as well. So I wanted to come onto this video to talk about these policies. And I want to mention something that I've seen a lot on some of the social media websites, such as, you know, the shade rooms and etc., where a lot of, I would say, Black people like to comment on things. I noticed, like on Baller Alert, I've noticed on Baller Alert, the shade rooms, the neighborhood talks, that a lot of people are saying they feel like Bernie is too old to run for president. That is something that everybody is using against him to run. Also, they're using against him the fact that he already ran before. Trump did come out with a tweet basically saying that crazy Bernie is running and he wished him well or whatnot. So let's see what Bernie policies is. Now, as far as healthcare, let's break it down. Healthcare, in 2017, Sanders introduced a bill to transition to Medicare for all, a system where every American would get healthcare through the government. The proposal is seen as one test of liberal credentials. Like I said, Booker and other people, such as Harris, have also adopted this policy. Some of the critics say this is the con, that it is too radical and it's too expensive to see through. Now, as far as labor, Sanders has pushed for a $15 per minimum wage and urged major companies to give their workers raises, in which I agree with. I do believe that minimum wage should be up, but I also know that when minimum wage goes up, because I believe in Georgia it's $7.25. In North Carolina, I believe it's $7.25. And those are two places where I lived. And when I say that, people be like, what in the world? How can y'all live off of that? Like, our cost of living is not as high as certain places. So I do believe if they bring up minimum wage in certain places, in which I believe they should, you know, the cost of living will go up as well. Like, the cost of a lot of things will go up as well when minimum wage goes up. So this was also adopted by a lot of other people. He has a push for companies from Walmart to McDonald's to take a step and urge for $15 wage floors and force them to reduce the hours or to cut jobs in order to do that. So as far as taxes, the Vermont senator has slammed the Republican tax plan passed in December of 2017, calling it an unnecessary boon to corporations and the wealth. To address growing wealth inequality, Sanders wants to expand the estate tax. A plan proposed in January would tax estates starting at $3.5 million with a 77% rate on a billionaire estate. Various 2020 Democratic candidates have unveiled proposals to either tax the wealthy more or reduce the tax burden on the middle class. Y'all always know the middle class always gets stuck with the worst. It's either like, when you're in between, it's always horrible for you. So, you know, I understand what they're saying, taxing the wealthy and taking the tax burden off the middle class, you know. Investing / banks. So as far as investing in banks, you know, he criticized Wall Street all the time. And in October, he introduced a bill to cap the size of financial institutions, which would break up banks, including JP Morgan Chase and other banks, Earlier this month, he unveiled a plan to restrict stock repurchases, which would put conditions on share buyback. So basically, you know, I don't really get into, I'm really trying to learn about stocks and all of that sort, and starting to learn about banks a little bit more. So I really can't give any feedback to that. I could just read it, because when I read it, it just sounded like a whole lot. I ain't gonna lie. Like I told y'all, I'm trying to learn stuff as I go. I'm not somebody that be on the internet act like I know everything, because that just sounds like a whole foreign language to me. So anyway, as far as education, in 2017, Sanders introduced a plan to make community college tuition free. I'm here for it. And eliminate tuition at four-year universities for students from families with the income of $125,000 or less. He has also pushed for more student loan forgiveness. Please! But as we already know, that the U.S. is in thousands and thousands and thousands and hundred millions and trillions and billions of debt. So that is going to be something very, very hard to push. Another thing that he talked about was climate change. He wants to endorse a version of the Green New Deal. It's a plan to dramatically reshape the U.S. economy to cut carbon emissions and address climate change. Other 2020 Democrats also endorsed the same idea as him. To be honest, half of the things that I've said as far as his policies, you guys already read before. You can look onto any website. It doesn't matter if it's a Republican type, you know, news type of station, or if it's a Democrat. They all have these candidate policies up there. So make sure you read up on them and do your own research. Okay, do not just vote for somebody just because of their race. Make sure you vote for them because you believe in their policies, okay? Believe in what they're saying. Please, okay? I wanted to mention this part because a lot of people talk about Bernie being like so, you know, radical, and like his ideas are great, because everybody knows Bernie has a black agenda. Like, Bernie has been fighting for our people more than a little bit. So we know that he is for the people. But a lot of people believe that he's like, it's too much and there's no way that it's going to happen. It takes more, in my personal opinion, I believe it takes more than 4 years to make change as a president. It takes a whole 8. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where people are coming from when they're saying like it's a lot, but it'll probably never happen. And all these presidents or people that run for president promise all these things that they don't see any change, because that's a lot of the things that people said about Obama. They feel like Obama really didn't make a lot of changes or didn't do a lot of things for the people. So, you know, I understand both sides, and I understand what people are saying when it comes to that. Bernie said that all of those ideas people were saying, oh, Bernie, they're so radical, they are extreme. The American people just won't accept those ideas. Well, you know what happens in over 3 years? All of those ideas and many more are now a part of the political mainstream. And he ain't lying. Everything that he stood up for when he started his campaign are now being adopted by every other person that's running. And I kind of, it's kind of, Bern kind of, he did that. So let me know down below, are you feeling the burn? And let me know, have you looked up anything about Bernie Sanders that you want other people to know? Make sure you post that down below. Please make sure that all your comments are very, let's make, like, we can all push our views without being ignorant, okay? Like, y'all, let's come together and let's not divide. We do not have to be rude. We do not have to be nasty. We can all make educated responses. All right, thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Can we stay home tonight? Try something new tonight. Hey, this drink got me feeling right.